All right, in terms of the non-conference schedule, when we had Chris Burgess in yesterday, told us that they wanted 6 marquee / quad one type games, which they already have, but they were actually looking for some serious competition. Here's his comment on that.
We looked at it for everything, our experience last year, the pressure that was put on us in Big 12 play to basically win, which we did, and we still got a 6 seed, where we looked at other teams, not just in our conference, but in other high major teams. Like you take Kentucky or you take Arizona. Arizona, we had the same conference record, but they scheduled way harder in the non-con. Their non-con strength schedule is way better. They actually didn't win any quad one games during that, but the committee took that and they got a 4 seed, right? Kentucky gets a 3 seed. So we looked at not just like Arkansas, what they do. And so we took that into mind from an analytical approach, and and then the Big 12 went from 20 games to 18 conference games. So we knew we had 2 more games to schedule, and we wanted to find 6 basically quad ones or marquee games, right? It's what we as coaches, why Kevin left the NBA to come to college, is because he wanted to do this, opportunity to showcase. It's an opportunity to build your resume. Like we're not, I think in years past, recruiting is like, let's just make the tournament. And like, that's not the mindset anymore, right? We understand how hard it is to make the NCAA tournament. We get that. But we're trying to get a seed, man. I think it's what we've learned. It's all about your seed in the NCAA tournament. Right, and we're shooting for that. We're shooting for a top 3 seed, top 4 seed. It's our goal, right?
And that is such a different mentality than what we're used to. It was all about let's get to the tournament. That was the goal, right?
And hopefully we win again.
You get to the tournament, and then you see what happens. And certainly that's part of the goal. But it's let's get to the tournament with a high seed, a top 4 seed.
Yes.
And I love the expectations have been raised. And it's not just from the fan base, but it's from this program. They've raised the stakes, and I love it.
Literally everyone associated with and looking at BYU basketball. Everybody. Let's look at what he was talking about. So BYU, Arizona, Kentucky. Let's compare net non-conference strength of schedule and what seed they got. This is what it looks like. BYU 25 net last year. That was pretty good. Non-conference 313. Woof. Got a 6. That's what Chris Burgess is talking about. Arizona really struggled in the non-con. We're about 500. 10 in net, 34 non-con strength schedule. They got a 4. Look at Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky, the Popes. 15, 46, 3. BYU is choosing to emulate that because they got a higher seed. Arizona was not punished for playing a tough schedule, even though they didn't have a ton of success in that. Yet, this BYU team looks like they're going to have success despite the tough non-conference schedule. In 11 games, if BYU goes 7-4 or better, they're in business. And then obviously you got to compete well, and hopefully you're top 3 like they have been in the Big 12. And then they're cooking with oil. And they were trying to beef it up even more. Listen to this. It's about as good as you could get.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple blue bloods you could add in there. But
we tried. We tried.
There you go.
We really, there were some 2 blue bloods that we really tried to get, and one of them, it just couldn't work out logistically. And
in the future, maybe?
We're hoping, man. We really, but we tried really hard. Both teams really tried. And so you have to have the right dates, right? We have to have the right dates, but we really did. There was 2 other teams we really wanted to get on the schedule. But we're super grateful for the teams that we get,
that
we get to play. Well respected, should be quad ones. We're excited. It's going to really push us to prepare us for the conference play as well.
Make it tougher. 2 more. Do we think it was Duke and Kentucky? I mean, those are
the first 2 we thought of.
Those are the 2 that you think of. You think of UCLA in terms of blue bloods. Wow. They were that means, Shep, they were trying to make it literally as difficult as humanly possible because they want that reward.
Yeah.
And they feel like they have a team that can handle it.
Well, and okay, I guess the question is, do you think that they needed it? Now, obviously, we know they didn't get it.
I mean, good, better, best. This feels better, right?
Yeah.
Like almost as good as you could possibly do it. And let's be honest, this is the toughest non-conference schedule BYU's ever had. They've never put together anything like this. This is amazing. I can't wait. Like I've never been more excited for a BYU men's basketball season than this year. And the last time I said that was probably last year. So let's go.
Yeah, I don't think if they're on the schedule and you have them, like, nobody's going to complain. And you're right. That would have been insanely difficult. But it's certainly not needed. You don't look at this schedule and think, it's really lacking this. It is lacking nothing.
I would complain if I didn't feel like the team could handle it well and it wouldn't help BYU on Selection Sunday. But to Chris's point, no, it's going to help us. And they have a team that can handle
Right.
it. So it all matches up. Like in the WCC days when BYU was flirting with the first 4 often in some NIT, like, no, I wouldn't want this schedule because on Selection Sunday, is it actually going to benefit you that? Maybe it would have. I don't know. In Independence, when we didn't know the Big 12 was going to be there, I was saying, I'm not, like, what is the point of a tough schedule if you're trying to get to, a BCS game or a New Year's Six or whatever? Like, it depends what your goals are. BYU's goal is to be a top 4 seed, and they want a good seed. Therefore, this schedule mandates that, and the fact that you have a roster that can handle it. That all makes sense. This lines up. If it didn't line up, I would go, now, wait a minute. You've reached a point where it doesn't make as much sense. I don't know that we're going to get to that point if BYU has rosters like this. But are you getting top 10 guys every year? Like, who's the next A.J. DeBonsa after Yegor Demon? That's 2 years in a row of a lottery pick-like guy. So I'm excited to see who the next guy is due next year for BYU men's basketball.
All right, so what's not on the non-conference schedule is a true road game. So right now, it looks like it could be up to 8 neutral site games, 5 home games.
A lot of neutral. Love it.
Is it okay that BYU does not have a true road game in terms of preparation? Does that bother you at all?
I guess for the hostile environment thing, because who BYU is playing, oh man, they will be prepared from what happens in these 94 feet of the woodwork. But yeah, you're going to walk into the Big 12 and you're going to play a tough road game, and there's not going to have been that experience for some of the younger guys. Mm-hmm. But I would say outside of AJ and Xavion, and granted, those guys have played at a high level, but not in front of 18,000 screaming fans in some venues or whatnot. I don't know. Does one true road game prepare you? Like, what would be the number? I think it's okay. I think competitively, BYU will be prepared. But in terms of, oh, man, I've never been to a venue like Iowa State like that. Arizona, sure, no. Yeah. But I think it's okay.
Look, I think the closest thing to a true road game will be the game in Boston. Now, there's going to be a lot of BYU basketball fans there. Yeah. But it's going to be a pro-UConn crowd.
And AJ's used to those people, that environment, that situation.
For me, though, I will take the tough opponents to prepare me way more than I'll take. You need one road environment to experience what it's like to be in a hostile environment. I will take the teams they're playing to prepare BYU versus 1 or 2 true road games.
Providence and that blowout didn't make BYU infinitely better early in Big 12 play. They came out of the gates slow. So it's not like, if we play 5 true road games, then we're good. BYU's they're focused more on Selection Sunday than they are at this point, this question that we're asking. And oh, by the way, AJ's skill outdoes some screaming fans.
Sure.
Right?
And look, make no mistake, there will be BYU fans there, but that's UConn's backyard.
And that's kind of fun. BYU typically has more home games than this.
Right.
There are Delta Center games, which is exciting. That's the second home of BYU now, obviously, which is pretty cool. So I think it's going to be really, really good.